Hey there, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Take the Black Live. I am Kayla Canarum alongside Dan Selke, our Winter is Coming.net editor-in-chief. It is Pie Day, and guess what? We have pie.
We do. Pie Day. Celebrating the mathematical constant that does a lot for us. I don't really know
What does it do, Dan? Tell us. Tell us more about it.
It's a magical ratio that's involved in flowers and nature and stuff. I don't know.
How are you celebrating Pie Day? Let us know. We're celebrating by eating pie and talking Game of Thrones with you.
Anyway, hi, everybody. Hi,
pie.
Fatima. Hi, Dan. Kelly, Rick, good to see you all. We have two reasons to celebrate today, Kayla. We have Pie Day for one, which is nice.
We need wine to wash it down.
We do. The things we don't think of. And also, today we are giving away one of 5 pieces of excellent Game of Thrones merchandise. Today we are we partnered with Fun.com to give away a swath of really cool stuff.
Really cool stuff and sharp stuff.
And sharp. I actually talked to the guy. He said that they are actually sharp, the knives and the R-rings, but not like sharp enough to kill a man.
That was my
just
question.
Like sharp enough to like cut a cantaloupe. We have a Game of Thrones Hound's Head helmet. We have a Dothraki Ark, however you say that. A Stark shield made of actual steel. There they are, beautiful. The knife I used to kill Littlefinger, a replica, obviously, and a Lannister shield. Really cool stuff. And a little later on in the broadcast, we're going to give it away to one lucky fan. So stay tuned, and that lucky fan could be you.
It's a lot of cool memorabilia.
It's pretty neat. I mean, it is, honest to God, pretty cool. I mean, it beats... I love dragon plushies, too, but it's a little cooler than that.
Yes,
up
I would
there
have
with
to
the box set. You can hang it on your wall. I can do a lot of stuff with that. And again, they are a little sharp, so be careful. But I
Go
hope
out
you
and
have
do
fun
some
with
yard work,
that.
trimming trees, bushes.
Before that, let's talk a little bit about the news coming out of the Game of Thrones Season 8 set and beyond. And we're going to start in Jerusalem, like usual, at the INTV conference, where several HBO executives were gathered to give a panel on just about HBO, its importance to the industry. And, of course, they were asked about Game of Thrones, and they dropped some knowledge about what's coming in Season 8 and what's coming, importantly, after Season 8 is over. Mm-hmm. And yes, Julie loves the knife. I do, too. I think if I had to choose one, I would probably go with the knife. How about you?
Yeah, what's the circly thing? Is that the knife?
That's the arc.
Oh, the arc.
That's the thing that the Dothraki use to hack
I'd
and
go
slash
with that.
and such. It's pretty cool.
It's different. We're eating pumpkin pie,
Your
if you
choice.
were wondering.
Hello to Jody from South Florida. Ooh, bonjour from Montreal. We should mention, just to dash your hopes, only people in the U.S. can win the prizes. I am sorry about that. It's a shipping thing. If I want to send it anywhere in the world, we have to keep it to the United States of America. For now. Later, we'll see what. Anyway, at the INTV conference in Jerusalem, HBO executives gathering and dropping some knowledge about Game of Thrones Season 8. Mm-hmm. There's one in particular named Francesca Orsi, who was very talkative. I don't know if you read any of these things, but she was giving all of these.
She had a lot to
say. She did. She dropped all kinds of knowledge.
Little open book, that one.
She talked about the Season 8 table read, which was the first time all the cast members gathered to read through the entire season. Have you ever been at a table read, Kayla?
No, but I've always wanted to be.
Oh, great.
I've never gotten to that point in my acting career, Dan.
No, but maybe someday. There's some time.
Maybe there's still time. I have watched some before. Like when there's big finales, they'll usually tape them. Like I think Office did it, Friends. You know, my usual shows.
Sure. Oh, you mean like on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
cool.
You always see it at the end where they go around, they do the read, and they clap, which is what happened with Game of Thrones.
Exactly. Zachary Best wants to know, where do I find pumpkin pie in March? Jewel.
Jewel Osco's heck.
Anyway, at this Season 8 table read, they all got around, and Francesca Orsi, the executive, was there and said, and I quote, the cast hadn't received scripts prior, and one by one, they started to fall down to their deaths. By the end, the last few words of the final script, the tears just started falling down. Then there was applause that lasted 15 minutes from everybody after the last word of Season 8 was said.
There's a whole lot of stuff in that sentence.
There is. Why don't you tease it a little bit out for us?
So does everybody die?
As one by one they fall to their deaths.
It seems like there's only one standing.
I doubt that. I think one by one, I expect many characters will die. So I imagine this was like them reading their own death scenes and getting emotional, as he would.
As
You've
one
been
does.
with this person for a long time.
Yeah. Also, the 15 minutes of clapping for a minute seems very long. So the fact that it went on for 15 minutes is very impressive.
Listen,
I would expect nothing less of the show.
my sense of Ms. Orsi is that she exaggerates a bit. And that maybe that's what I'm picking up. And that 15 minutes meant more like a straight
2
minute
minutes.
of clapping
Yeah.
too, and that one by one dropping to their deaths means some characters died and they were emotional
Unless
about it.
they went around the table and gave each character a standing ovation for a minute.
That would take forever. But maybe.
I want to put it past him.
It's intense, though, and that does track with what people like Sophie Turner and Kit Harington have said, that at that table read, everyone was crying at the very end of it. That once they're all done, I mean, you know, you've been with a project, any project, a TV show, a giant boat in a bottle, I don't know, anything for a long time. After
It's
it's
the end of an
done,
era.
it's cathartic.
And if you're finding out you're dying on top of that, it's a lot of emotion.
It is. It must be very intense. So I understand that. She also talked about what's going to happen. Go ahead. Beyond. What's going on?
Just going to turn this volume down.
Oh, good call. I don't know how to work that. While you do that, I will eat this pie.
We're good. Okay.
Cool.
Just hear it echoing.
She also talked about, or see what's going to happen after Game of Thrones season 8 is over, as in what are the many prequels and spin-offs that are developing going to be like. They're making around 5 that we know of, 1 or 2 of which, well, I'm sure will go to air, at least 1 of which. She quoted someone as saying, like, it would be corporate malfeasance not to do something after Game of Thrones is over, which I get, right? If you're making this much money from it, you just owe that to your shareholders, basically, to make a spinoff. And she talked about the budget for the show. Game of Thrones, you know, huge budget, dragons,
Huge.
walls, things falling down, you gotta have a big budget. But it didn't start out that way. In the beginning, it was...
It is funny to go back and look at earlier seasons and see
Right.
how far it's come. Just in 7 seasons.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Soon to
before
be
that...
8.
I mean, that they couldn't afford... They had 1 bit of dragons at the very first season. Like, and they were tiny at the very end.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford, like, a giant thing flying across the screen. They couldn't afford a full-on action scene. They had to build that up. And she said that, you know, we can't start out with season 8 budget, where it's, you know, that they were only giving it this much money now because it's so beloved and so watched. But they might give it around season 3... season 3 budget. But that's the thing.
It's better than a season 1.
They can't start too small now, because even though it's a new show,
They'll constantly have to
it has
keep
expectations
outdoing
on
themselves, right?
it. So they're in a bit of a weird space where it's like it's a property people know, but it's not the actual thing that they actually. It's not Game of Thrones, something like Game of Thrones. So they have to pitch it at an area where it's going to impress you, but it can't. They can't spend too much on it because there's no guarantee it'll actually be successful.
Right.
A tough
That's a very good
choice
point.
for Miss Orsi. And finally, by the way, thanks, Captain Ernest.
Surprised we didn't get more out of her.
Oh, we got more out of her.
We did?
Yeah. Sarah Davis says they clapped 15 minutes because Robin Aaron wins the Iron Throne. Robin Aaron of the mother-loving variety.
Oh, no.
That's totally possible. It could happen. We'll see him in a bit. And Jodie is so scared, but so excited. I agree.
Same.
Finally, a little bit, she took like proper swipes at Amazon and
Oh, yes.
Netflix, which was fun. Not really Game of Thrones related, but like the other executives were all like, you know, HBO is in the quality curating business, and they're kind of more in the volume business. And she was just like, Amazon's a disgrace.
And she trashed Netflix?
She said that creators were not leaving Netflix, were coming to HBO and saying they don't want to work at Netflix because they'll get lost in kind of the rush of programming they put out all the time.
Scandalous.
But it was fun. I just enjoyed her, that she was willing to go there where the other executives were being a little more diplomatic.
Yeah.
I imagine
What
they
a
were
little
like,
spitfire, that one.
maybe just calm down, Jodie, a bit. But she didn't. That's why we love her. Orsi. Sorry, weird name. Anyway, beyond that, talking more about season 8, what's going to come. Ian Glenn, Jorah Mormont's been talking at a school a little bit about what's going to happen in the finale. Just thought I'd go through a couple of his quotes here.
I'm glad he's still there. That's a sign he's still in it, right?
Well, I mean, not necessarily.
Until a certain point.
It's a sign that he's not filming at the moment, and he has time to talk to magazines.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
Just making sure, Dan.
He said, "Do expect the unexpected," which is pretty natural, and also said that Game of Thrones is the biggest TV show ever, and the finale will reflect that. The production values are immense, and the shoot is taking long because the sequences are more complicated. Speaking of which, Lena Headey said that they're going to shoot through June So we have a nice little end date for.
That's the first time we've heard that. Yes.
That's the first time we've heard like something that specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard like kind of summerish, but that's good to have June on the block. And finally teased to the Indian Express. He called the ending brilliant and that it satisfied him, but noted that you cannot please everyone. And I can't tell if that's like just natural British reticence of not wanting to commit fully to something, or if it's some misgivings about how it ends. What do you think?
That's kind of been the general statement from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We know how it ends. It's bittersweet. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't. It's like, well, thanks. That told us a lot.
Which again, I mean, I've said before, wouldn't you think that if it were just outright wonderful, they would have no problem just giving a panegyric and just
Are they given that generic statement to say in every
it's possible
press tour, interview? Know. Some people are going to like it and some people won't.
Well, again, you've been in Hollywood. Were you ever known to be given or knew anybody who was given edicts from a network or a studio to sell a movie or a TV show or a product this way?
I'm sure they're definitely given guidelines on what they can or can't say. Sure. And keeping it, probably generic if it's this big of a deal, you know?
Right. Okay, fair enough.
I didn't get that far again, so I'm not totally sure. That's just my guess.
I'm pretty sure you were in several huge Hollywood movies. You basically were Julia Roberts for a brief time.
In my dreams, yes.
Gotcha. Anyway, that's what's happening on the interview front. Before we move on to the giveaway of the Game of Thrones merchandise, let's go through some of what's happening on the set really briefly.
Yes.
Right now, filming on Winterfell is wrapping up, which is nice, at the Moneyglass set. The last time we'll ever use that set. It's kind of sad. I hope they leave it up for a while so people can go visit at Winterfell. I'd like that.
Is that different than the one they're keeping up?
They're keeping up the King's Landing set because they just spent so much money on it. I don't know about the Winterfell one.
Keep up all the sets.
I mean,
tourist attractions.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, Northern Ireland.
Go visit faux castles.
That's a draw. You can get money out of that. And also real castles and stay there for the pubs and the culture. But before they left, Oak Leaf Photography got some pretty cool shots of the Winterfell set, kind of post-battle scene, it looks like. And there's just a fun scene you can look at here. We got a pile of what looks like body part props on the one side, just like a pile of them, which is fun. Like arms and legs and torsos and stuff. Movie magic. And then on the walls, you can't really see it here, but you can zoom in on winteriscoming.net. I didn't give you everything. There's kind of blood crusted on the crenellations on the upper of the wall and kind of a device to keep people from climbing it. So we're taking away from this that people are going to try to scale those walls. People are going to bleed on those walls. And it should be a good bloody time on Game of Thrones.
Get excited, people.
I would. Oh, I was reading this upwards, upside down. No, whatever, we're fine. Anyway, with that, any other thoughts, Kayla?
Never change. Are you enjoying the pie?
I am, yeah. And, it's jewel pie. It's not like, top of the line quality bakery pie, but it's good. Have you tried it yet?
I'm actually not too picky about my pies.
Oh, no, me neither. I'm enjoying it.
Don't they all kind of taste the same?
I don't generally. I have to imagine there's some bakery somewhere that makes like the best pie you've ever had in your life. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. This one's pretty good.
Darby Ray Bush asks, I've been a fan of the show for years, started season 1. What am I supposed to do with my time and obsession now?
Have you rewatched it from the beginning?
We can all try that.
Option number 1. Watch all the special features on the DVDs.
And that Akash, season 8 is killing me with the wait. So does it kill us all? Pie, agreed.
Go to winteriscoming.net.
Okay, I think we can move on to the main event. Let's give away some Game of Thrones swag to one lucky fan. If you've been with us before, you know how this works. But for those of you who might be new, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask a Game of Thrones-related trivia question. And there's going to be an email address on your screen, dan.selke@winteriscoming.net. That's me. dan.selke@winteriscoming.net, just so you can hear it and write it down. Type it into your browser or your email client and get ready to answer my trivia question. And the first person to get their correct answer in, I'll get back to them, ask you for a name and address, tell you won. You get back to me with a name and address. You get the stuff. You get your pick of which of the 5 cool items you want. Although if you don't get back to me within 24 hours with the name and address, I go to the person who got it in next fastest, and so on and so forth until I get a usable response. Any questions, Kayla?
Get ready, people. This is a cool prize.
It's not a question, but okay. All right. Trivia
I don't have a
question
question.
is, it's a little harder this time because this is a pretty cool prize. All right. On Game of Thrones, the show, not the books, what is the name of the Septon who rescued the Hound from the brink of death after he got beaten the crap out of him by Brienne of Tarth? Remember this at all?
What season?
6.
Maybe.
I'm sure you recall that the Hound got beaten by Brienne, right?
Yes.
Left for dead.
Yep.
And then he showed back up.
And Arya, and that made me very sad.
It was sad. But, you know, they both turned out okay. Pick up. What is the name of the Septon who...
The little village she was in? Like
Yeah.
the stone village? Yes.
Exactly. What is the name of the Septon who...
And then they all got murdered.
They all got murdered. That's the way it happens. He also died, this Septon. What is the name of the Septon who nursed the Hound back to health after Arya left him for dead in season 4? What is the name of that character from the show, not the guy from the books? And that is the question. Get it into dan.selkie@winnerscoming.net. And I'll get back to the winner with a confirmation. And you get to choose one of those 5 prizes. Congratulations, preemptively.
Good luck, everybody.
And okay, that's about it for us tonight. Josh Hill is not be with us today. He is off, but we'll see him back next week for another episode of Song of Dan and Josh. So today, I hope you enjoyed our show, and we will be back next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time to talk more Game of Thrones, more Song of Ice and Fire, more of a Song of Dan and Josh, and in the future, more giveaways, because we always love doing those.
We do. And everybody go get yourself some pie.
Yes, happy Pie Day, and Valor Morgulis.